Got some more snow. So, here we go. Focus. iPhone, focus. Siri, focus iPhone. Come on. Come on, stupid phone. Ooh. It did it. Eric DeVay uploaded a 9-hour video. I think it's 9 hours. Hope it's 9 hours. I'll have to comment. I could do that in a day. Probably will do it in a day. Funny thing is I'll probably watch that video every day. But most people will be like, well, I don't actually. I'll bet you most people get carried away and watch it longer than they intend to. I'd say put it on in the background. Watch it a bunch of times. I think we've probably seen most of it. I hope not all of it, but maybe all of it in other videos. Eric's just so good at sharing. I mean, he sells this. I mean, you can support him. I know I should too, even though I try to support in other ways, like moral support and things like that, but I don't know, you gotta do these things for the things that you care about. And even though I guess none of us, besides the people that do, know them, but you can know the work and know that it's good. And you can test the work. That's the thing is, I think a lot of people read books as like it's teaching them something, like it's an absolute truth. And I don't think that's a very mind expanding way to take in information. To just know that something is this way and not be like, well, why, how, what happens if this happens in it, you know, what are the parameters. It really seems unnatural to not wonder, to not know the workings of it all. It really, it's been enabled, and I talk about enabling a lot because somebody that has done things that aren't necessarily good for myself because everybody else is doing it, you kind of, when you come out of if you come out of stuff like that, you kind of have this understanding of what the enabling is and what it actually does. And it's not like those aren't bad people that enable you. You're not a bad person for being enabled. It's just kind of the way that we, who knows if it's probably learned, but I don't know that a person or a thing instilled it. It's just kind of like a baby learns that when it cries it gets attention, and you know, that kind of thing. It's just the way that it is. I don't know. Do you ever... I'm talking about enabling. I think we just kind of do it naturally. But the things that we want, I don't think are natural, so I don't know, people might not understand where I'm coming from. Oh, the snow is so much lighter than last time because it's cold. It's like a powder. This is the kind of snow that is a lot more like sand. You can't really make a snowman with it. It will pack, because on snow you don't really think about something frozen warming up and still being frozen, but that happens. And it's like when you put fire on an ice cube, the whole thing doesn't melt equally. Goru, come on. Come on. It melts in the direct contact. And maybe those places are getting a higher temperature than anywhere else. And so, you know, it creates water, even though the ultimate application of the heat doesn't raise the temperature to thaw anything out. Besides in the direct area, you know, where the blast zone, where it's melting the snow and creating water, that water gets sucked into all the other snow. And so when you step down on the snow, the friction of it getting compacted into itself, all the little sand particles that won't stick together because there's no moisture, release their moisture, but not enough to be like the way snow is saturated when it's coming down wet. Just enough to make a slight and imperfect cake. Like a lot of times when you walk on snow like this, you hear it packing down, and you can see it now. But you see that none of that will come out as a cake. Come here. Ah, good girl. Come on, Goru. Yeah, the book that he uploaded. Am I right? Is it Spiritual Science? I think that's what the one it is. I'm really not about names. And it holds me back, I'm sure. But anyways, the newest one. The one that you're going to see when you go click on his site. There you go. I'm talking about the most relative thing. That's the good shit. That's the good shit. What are you? What is this place? People, I feel kind of silly sometimes. I'll explain it at the end. We're going through this. Well, is it flat? Is it round? Is it this? Is it that? What's the moon? What's the sun? What's the what? What's the... How does it do it? How far away is it? And that's not even close to understanding what we are or where we are. That's actually down the wrong fucking road. It's down the wrong road. And bear with me. I'll explain it when I feel like it, but it's down the wrong road. Nothing is real. This place is like a thought experiment. You guys are really keen on, everybody wants to play some virtual reality and this and that, and we all, well, I'll just talk about myself. I want to play it too. I think that'd be so awesome, so fun to imagine the things you can do. But and the complexity, the amount of code and things that are needing to be written can actually be written by bots now. So it's like you write a code, a tedious code. It takes you years to write this code because there's so many fucking lines. But that code that you're writing is a code writing code. And so now, once you've invested all that time, it'll write the code. And you can update it, or it can even be a learning bot. And it can update itself. It's not a life, but it's a thing. It's a self-serving thing. Well, it doesn't serve itself, but I mean self-automating thing. You turn it on, and that's the last time you probably ever have to even know about it. But they could write all this code, and it'll just get more and more complex. It's gonna look just like this. In real time, I'm looking at my hand on a video screen, and it looks like a video, but I can see my real hand in the background. It's gonna be like that. That's gonna be the resolution, is my real hand in the background, and you'll be seeing like a video within a video, or a video within a hologram. And that's actually what you're watching right now. Nothing is here. This is a thought. And I don't mean like, should I go buy groceries? You know, what am I going to do today for fun? This is a thought. Like, how quick does a thought happen? How long can a thought stay? The thought has no playback speed, but it has every playback speed. You can think of a thought in its whole entirety, like almost like a memory of a time. Yeah, and you can go inside, and that memory of a time is like a file folder, and then you can go inside that file folder, and you can even, once you're inside the file folder, you can pull out documents. There's a lot of people looking at it, and the actual findings that these people find matter, but the thing that affects me more is the fact that they're doing these things, and that these things are similar. They don't even have to be the same, but they're similar. Every time somebody goes and looks, they're shown it. They're shown the same thing, maybe in a different way, but the same thing. People from every corner of belief are subject to this. You cannot like it with all your might. I'm not saying we should be changing or altering this experience. I mean, you could do it like that guy in The Watchmen, the blue guy. You could do it at your whim, but that's actually not what you are. It's not why you're here. You wouldn't find any resolution in that type of an action. You can do it. I think you can't do it without learning how to do it, but it's possible for us to do it. But that's not why we're here. I think people do it while we're here, but they actually become part of the antagonistic reason why we're here. It's almost like they're assigning themselves a role, or they've been assigned a role through their greed or their desires. I'm pretty sure that we're here for experience. People talk about old souls and things like that. I don't know. How do you don't know anything. What do you think Mario knows about you, the person playing Super Mario Brothers? What do you think he knows about me? He probably doesn't know nothing about me. I'll bet you he doesn't even understand that I'm controlling him. Controlling him? Does he think that he's going through the thing with his own free will? I'm gonna go save the princess. Are you? Are you really? Because I'm just gonna fuck around over here and jump around on the steps. Let's see what happens. Have you saved the princess yet? No? Because I'm over here jumping on these steps with your fucking body. Have you saved the princess yet? Alright, well, good luck with that. You don't do harm? Well, I'm gonna go jump on this turtle. It looks like I hurt him. Looks like it was you that was doing it. Looks like you did harm. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but it means something, doesn't it? I said it. I almost feel like, look at this, there's no steps. We're the trail breakers. People coming down here, you're not the one that owns this place. Well, I'm the one that upkeeps it, so shut the fuck up. I'm out here making a trail. I see you walking down my trail. I don't mind. constantly going up and down, up and down. You know, like when you're on the swings, it feels like you stop for a moment. I guess maybe you do. Somebody would have to break that down. It's almost like you don't, though, because you feel that momentum. The momentum feels like it keeps going, and then it just kind of turns around like in a flowing loop fashion. There's no stopping involved in my feeling, in my gut, you know? I like to sit on the front of my shins, like you were praying, kneeling, I guess. When I first sit down, my knees feel like they're swollen, and then as I sit down, I can feel it separating when they go on the flesh on the, oh my god, can you stop? You're making me sound weird. When the flesh on the flesh starts squeezing together, it pulls the joints apart, and I don't know, that doesn't really feel all that good, but it kind of does. Oh, stop! Will you stop? But the slow... Come here. We quit it. Come here. I'm gonna fucking slap you. What a bitch. You're bored, huh? Oh, fine. Feels good when it squeezes out. It's kind of like squeezing the toothpaste or something. I don't know. Slowly. But then it gets to the end where now my knees are all the way bent. And, okay, let's... Now it feels empty, like there's nothing in between there. It's coming back and slowly and feeling lubricated. I don't know what's going on, but just giving you a commentary. Probably can't hear any of it. I like the mumble. I'm outside talking on an iPhone in a case. The iPhone likes to fucking give up. Oh well. Maybe if you could hear me, I would have a lot less people. Big pile of snow. They take all the snow from the ground where they work and they push it into the water. Hey, good focus, iPhone. I'm really proud of it. The iPhone does a really good job of focusing. Those almost look like planets, didn't they? Planets are just fucking front end loaders out of focus. This phone is just fucking worthless. Oh God, it can't even focus on a fucking mountain. I give up. I give up. There's a mountain over there with a star on the side of it. It's huge. You can see it from here. It's made out of lights, and we light it until the last person or the first person comes back from the Iditarod. I think it's the last person. I don't know. The Iditarod, the dog sled race, and I don't know. Depending on how you feel about it, it doesn't really matter. But some people think that the dogs don't like it and it's torture for them and it's inhumane and all that. But they love it. They want to go running all the time. But I agree, when you start hoarding things and doing stuff like that in bulk, it's oppressive. But I mean, everything's oppressive. I could argue that just owning a dog is not a nice thing, but it is a nice thing. If you ask me, would I do it to myself? Fuck yeah, I'd love to be the one that takes care of myself. Like if I was my own dog, fucking A. Fuck. Life would be a dream. Dogs are obviously, or at least my dogs, are obviously being rewarded for a good life in the past. Previous good life. What if, we're the only ones thinking about time? What if the life you're living now is because of the one you're gonna live next? It's not even like your past life. It's your, come on! It's your future life. It's the same thing. There's something over there in the snow, and they just obsess over it. I know people are like, do you the dog? They don't understand. They know what they're doing. They want to go outside, they want to go inside, they want to ride in the car, they don't want to ride in the car, they want to eat the food, they don't want to eat the food. I mean, they're just trying to live their lives. And yeah, they play fucking games. Well, dogs aren't that smart. Yeah, they are. Dogs play fucking games. No, dogs. Well, I've seen a dog run around and play with another dog. But that's not a game. It's not pretend. Pretend fighting for entertainment. It's not a game. Okay. Yeah, so all this stuff, I love it. All this mind science. The earth is flat. The earth is in my head. So now what? I'll just make you disappear. Oh. How would you know? How would I know if tomorrow everything was totally different? What if, excuse me, snow was purple, the sky was down, the earth was up, I was a girl, you were a boy, the dog was a giraffe, you know, everything. We all shit out pink polka dots, whatever. Reality was just totally different. And you wouldn't know anything about it, this reality. And it could end and go back and forth. And as long as you never knew, every other second, what if every other second was a different dimension, a different reality? But they were all so interwoven that you didn't even fucking know. What if I'm living all of the fucking lives here at once? And the way that it's hidden from me is the perception of time. There is no time. I'm just everything all at once. I'm building a fucking model. It's like a diorama. And we look at it. And it's got a little instance for every little thing. And I built every one of you. Every one of myself I built everywhere. I'm that fucking railroad car. I'm the god of that railroad car. In my little story, there's a guy, his name is Jim Bob. And Jim Bob actually built that in my story. But I made Jim Bob in my fucking mind. Which there is no mind. That big rock down there fucking freaks me out. And I put it there. That was weird. I don't remember it being there. It's from a different reality. Time. That rock appeared there. A rock appeared there. All of a sudden it's just a rock. It cracked off of a big rock. And all of a sudden it's just a little rock. And then it's a little rock. And then a littler rock. And a littler rock. And a littler rock. And then it's next to the water. And now the water's flowing over it. And now it's round. Who the fuck has got time for that? I thought the idea of it, nobody can fucking see it. So there. That's what happened. I just did that. Now you know how I made the rocks. What are the rocks? Well, the rocks are pieces of bigger things. What are the bigger things? The things that I made. The lump. The blurb. Okay, I just want to lay down right here. I don't even know what happens to me now. I just do this all the time. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm laying down. I had enough. What if I'm dying? I hope I'm dying. No, I don't. I don't know. I said I was gonna live till 250. And is it just my ego? Maybe I should just stop. Is there a way to have fun? Or is it to get something done? Or is it to do nothing? Is it to help you guys? Is it to help myself? Is it so I can walk the dogs? Why would I stay here? And I don't mean like harming myself. I have no intent to do that, but I mean just leaving. Maybe all the stuff that we think is bad is us trying to make it interesting, I guess. Maybe when we think of this too deeply, we focus on the prison. We don't enjoy it as just the experience, as the TV show that we want it to be. And so then we create all this bad feelings to encourage us to move on, start over. Don't start over. How would you even know? Would it even, what if, okay, so I stop and then I don't want to start over, so I don't start over, but everything's already written. And so the me that sometimes does want to start over starts over, and so I'm here starting over, and then I'm over there not starting over, but it's all still me. Will this ever go away? I mean, can it go away? Is it always gonna be? Is this the first time that I watched this video? How many times? There's videos in this reality that I've watched over 100 times. People said, what a waste of time. And I'm not saying I sit down and eat a bowl of popcorn and totally focus on the movie 100 times. But yeah, easily. Spaceballs. I used to put that in. I had a VCR that would rewind the tape and play it again forever until the end of time. And I would turn that on when I went to bed. And I could wake up in the middle of the night. I wouldn't know what time it was, but I'd hear the movie and I would kind of use it like as a mental blocker. It's like when you meditate, you can focus on your breathing, and it helps you to not think of anything, because your breathing is something that you do automatically, I guess. So anyways, you think about your breath going in and you think about your breath going out, and while you're doing that, you can't really think about anything else. Stuff will try to pop in there. Hopefully you remember what I was just talking about. I'm gonna stop it.